If you're here, it's probably because your Chevy has got a bunch of rust on the frame cross members. You may have seen my video with the rear hitch that completely disintegrated. It was a receiver hitch. The tube rotted out. I took that all off, did a frame inspection. This isn't that truck. This is another identical Duramax pickup, about the same year as that other one. And this has got the exact same thing on it. So we're gonna replace the front cross member because that holds up the tank. We got this replacement one. I believe it's from Amazon. That's a cross member for the center. We're gonna do some other stuff, shocks, tank straps, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna see about fabricating a new one of these as well. So first things first, we'll get the tank off, get everything out of the way so we can see what we're working with. We'll go from there. Okay, just a word of caution, buying these from junkyards. If you look real close at some of the holes, you can see that they've already started to be affected by rust. And if you notice this on the floor, that is all stuff from the inside of this. Hopefully you can hear that. It's all full of stuff on the inside. So even though that's a factory cross member, I think that the replacement one would be better, just because you don't know how rusty it is on the inside. So just something to think about when you're looking for parts. Everything's out of the way, and as you can see, the owner of this truck started to clean the frame up and get it ready for this job. So they neutralized the rust, put some paint on it, but I thought I'd show you how bad the cross member was. The center cross member, you know, definitely that's right where the shock mounts, and you can see all the way through it. The one that was up here was also very bad. It's already gone, and I already showed you that one. So you know what it's gonna take. Let's tear into it, and we'll start with the number one. Front cross member on these, super easy. Once you grind off the rivet, take the bolt out, you drive the rivet through, then slap the new one on and put new bolts in it, and it's done. One nice thing about factory is it does have the holes, so everything lines right back up. Next, we're gonna go in and cut this one out. And look at that, it is almost half full of debris. One thing that the new one doesn't come with is this little bracket for the exhaust, so I'm gonna clean that one up a little bit and we'll weld that back on to the new tube. Okay, so as you can see, I just took the plasma, cut around each tube just to get it out of the way. There is the tube, some of the stuff that just dumped out of it, moving it around. So now I'm gonna go in. The instructions say you're supposed to make an oval cut on each side here. That side will just cut around it. And that way we can slide the thing in on a slight angle, one way or the other, I'm not sure yet, probably this way, in, and then it goes over to touch that side. This side, the tube is down 1.5 inches. That side, the tube is down 1 1/4. And so those are the measurements we'll use to reset it. Okay, so we got those cut out, ground out like the instructions say. Same on that side, just supposed to cut around it. So looking at this material thickness compared to the original frame here, I'm gonna hold up the other one. These plates are half the thickness of that. And we found some other problems. Just a second, we'll put this back in and I'll show you. Okay, so it is a tight fit when you put this plate in. So go ahead, tap it in. All right, now it's in. So I'm gonna go over there and show you what else is going on. Okay, when this thing is all in place, it needs to be raised up just a little bit, but look at the gap. It's tight up here at the top of the frame, at most of it anyway, but then it goes that far away. So now when I'm putting this back in, I'm gonna have to weld the top, get it tacked in, and then pound this back up against the frame. So this kit from Amazon, I mean, it is a way to fix a frame, but it is not a real awesome, accurate reproduction of the part. Okay, so we have it all mocked up in place, and actually some of it already welded. So we followed the instructions, put the little marks. Like I say, I'm still not real impressed with the thickness of the material, but gave it a weld all the way around. Got to still do the bottom. So you do have to weld 1, 2, and then the outer there, which is 3 sides, these plates. And yep, they seem to weld in all right. But like I say, the plates are very thin, and the tube is much thinner than the original as well. One thing we did do is we put a ratchet strap on and actually tightened it up to try to pull it in just to get that bottom of the frame, figuring that this should have been manufactured correctly. So we kind of split the difference in that gap and welded it up. So the ratchet strap might help pull things together for you. Okay, everything is all welded back up. Shocks lined back up, that's good. Now we're getting ready to put the tank up in the air. Okay, so the fuel tank went back in. Everything is pretty well lined up. Okay, so the bolts for the fuel tank straps, all that went back in, no problem. We're just gonna hook up the temporary fuel lines now so we can get this thing back moving around. And that's it for this one.